And three, two, and one. If you could design your dream house with no budgetary constraints, what would it look like?
It would be very beachy cottage. It would be
Okay.
single story, open layout because I like to entertain. So kitchen, living room, dining area open, lots of windows, probably three bedrooms so I could have an office and a guest room for my daughter-ish, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. No. Yes. Uh, I would like a nice yard because I do love my plants and to garden, and it would be near the ocean with some either probably a jacuzzi over a pool, but just
Yeah. Coming
just
to
so
your
I don't
house.
have to leave.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Right. Love it. Love it. Kimberly, how about you?
Oh, I don't know what it would look like, but I do know that it would have one of those bookshelves where you like pull a book and then you go inside and there's like a speakeasy. I definitely want one of those. I definitely want a pool because I want to be able to float for as long as I want. And when you float in the neighborhood pool for too long, people will ask you if you're dead. You okay over there? Especially if you drank a little wine before you floated.
Or a lot?
It's been known to happen. What else do I want? Maybe if there was two stories, since I was a little girl, I've always wanted a slide from the
Oh,
second story to the first story. I think that's okay for adults.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I would, of course, have a diner.
Yeah, you
You
would.
rolled up to the front of the house, diner right in the front.
Mm. You gotta have the diner booths.
With the diner
Yeah.
classic diner booths, the counter, the stool, the whole nine yards. And of course, it would be open 24/7.
Yeah.
So no budgetary constraints.
But we wouldn't have to be there 24/7 because
Well,
we would have so much money, we'd have like
right.
great staff.
You have
Yeah.
the staff.
Yeah. Got to have somebody in there. So,
Sure. Yeah.
well, to our listeners, welcome to the Kimberly and Coach Show, where we bring you actionable practices where you can use in your leadership and collaboration today. Coach Kimberly is right next to me. Today with us is Rina Mora, the tiny but mighty coach. Rina provides accessible, personalized coaching and thought partnership from the comfort of your office to help create tiny steps to hit your mighty goals.
You guys may know this. We've said it before, but great coaches have great coaches.
Mhm.
And Rena is a mighty voice in our business and has been for coming up on 3 years now. Yeah. And so we're ecstatic to introduce her to you guys. Welcome, Rena.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here and see this in real time with you guys.
Yes, yes. So, Rena, as a business coach, you often help clients get unstuck.
Ask us how we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially this guy. Can you give us a quick rundown of some challenges that you've seen show up often for business leaders?
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it is wanting to do everything at once.
I resemble that remark.
Really?
Wanting to do everything at once. And then there was another one I just was going to say and it went away, but that's the big one. Wanting to do it all and feeling like it has to be all done at the same time.
Mm. Mm.
Because neither one of those are true.
And
Right?
it's actually impossible.
Right? Exactly.
Unfortunately, wanting that does not make it possible at all.
Yeah.
No, and well, this was the other one. It gets in your way.
Mhm.
It is the easiest way for us to get in our own way is to want to do everything and do it all at once.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you are working with clients and they are kind of in that space and they want to do everything all at once, what are the ways that you help them move out of that?
We throw up the SOS, the science of simplicity. Keep it
Okay.
simple. We break it down. When that happens, usually there's a lot of angst happening. So it really is like, okay, I got it. Let's run the list. Go. And just letting people like get it out and then going through the list again. Okay, now what is most important? Let's start there. And so then you can like kind of it takes away that angst of, oh, I just think I have to do all this, but actually that's not due till next week. I could probably do that here. So it's really getting it out of here and out of your mouth, just in front of someone else, so that you can break it down and just keep it simple. Nothing has to be done immediately. Again, nobody's going to die.
What do you do when you have a client that they give you the whole list and then it feels like they legitimately feel like everything should have gotten done yesterday? Like, I'm so far behind, everything is urgent. And for them, it doesn't naturally become clear, like this is first and this is second.
Well, that is where it helps for me to be very patient and know that I get it. I do get it. I understand when things should have been done last week. Doesn't change the fact that you can't get it all done. So you're going to have to make a choice. And you're going to have to decide what is most important to you right now that's going to give you the most relief to be like, whew, okay, I got it done.
Yes. Yes, I love that. And I do think there is kind of a psychological bump from doing the thing that will give you the most relief. Like, one of the coaches I've worked with, they say the weird thing of like eat the frog first. I don't really get where that comes from.
It's Brian Tracy.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, where does it come
there's
from?
His book.
Why are we eating frogs though?
there's a book, but I think it's also from a Mark Twain quote.
Oh,
Well, I still don't know why I want to eat a frog. I don't want to. And if there's a thing that I'm going to be anxious about all day, and then at the end of the day, I'm going to do it, and it's going to take me 20 minutes, why not do that thing first and like spend my day not anxious? And so like I like the frame of what will give you the most relief to have it done versus like what feels the easiest, which is often not the most urgent, you know?
okay. Right on.
And there's another method to that too. But yes, what were you worrying about yesterday? Let's start there. And
Sure,
then
yeah.
let's work on that. And then we can worry about today's worry when you're done with that.
Mhm.
Fair.
So one of my favorite things is this little worksheet that you sent me
But
a
visual
week or
aids.
so. I do have visual aids.
I love visual aids.
So I know that Rina sent this to me. You sent this to me, and it's really quite brilliant. It's very simple. So I'm sure that
I've even seen this.
oh, you don't have the same level of like chaos happening up here in your head like I do. So like
Yeah, it's true.
ADHD are us right here. So
One of the things that
This
Rina is
guy.
helping us with is that we are business partners, but one of us is neurodivergent and one of us is neurotypical. And we
Guess which one?
literally, we literally sometimes are like, we don't know how to help each other because what will work for me won't work for him and vice versa. I didn't mean to like make you put your paper away.
No, it's absolutely true though.
You're just saying because I'm neurotypical, I don't need that paper as much.
Not as much. Yeah. So
So what do you love about the paper you just put away?
So the paper, I mean,
Coming back.
this is the Tiny but Mighty project card. And I'm sure that if our listeners work with Rena, she'll be happy to send this to them. But it basically lays out like what is it that you're trying to do? And then we've got basic steps, the tiny steps to bring you to the mighty goals, right?
That's
This
right.
is the whole thing. And
That came from people giving me their to-do lists and then me realizing that your to-do list is so much more than your to-do list. So when people tell me, I have to reach out to all my leads. Okay. So do you have everything ready to get that done? No. Okay, so what do you have to do? Well, so that's exactly
I'm
what
gonna
that
need some
card's
leads.
for. Yeah, that card is to be like, I need to find the leads. I need to research the leads. I need to think about what is it that I want to tell them. But I mean, you can use it even to just clean your closet. Like cleaning your closet isn't cleaning your closet. It's empty the closet, put everything in a pile, throw out the thing. So everything has steps to it. And when
Sure.
you can acknowledge that and look at your steps, things get less overwhelming. So it's that SOS, throw up the white flag. I need to break it down. I need to keep it simple.
Yes. Now, a lot of the clients that we work with are part of corporate teams. And
Hmm.
so we have leaders who are very good at their job, but they're trying to learn how to be good at managing people. And sometimes you have become a manager because you were very good at the task. And now you're kind of like building the plane as you're flying it in terms of that, motivating and leading people part of your job. And one thing that I really like about your worksheet is that it gives you a way to break down a big task. And if you do that with someone on your team, then both the manager and the person, or in your case, the coach and the person that's being coached, have a record of these are the smaller steps that you're going to be doing to get this project completed. And so at any point, then the leader can step in and say, like, which step are you on? How's that going? And there's more places aside instead of going like, how's that giant project? And you're like, it's good. I'm a little stuck, but I don't want to tell you that. Like if you have it broken down, there's more touch points that you can kind of check in on. And I think that can be really helpful.
Yes, and it is also helpful with teams in general with project management because you can utilize those small tasks to really lean on everyone's zone of genius. So these are the tasks that you're good
Yes.
at, and this is what I'm going to have you work on while you work on this. You guys are going to come together. So it really does make it easy for a single person or to use it in your teams. The whole premise is to really I'm a systems person. I'm a systems geek. I like everything broken down. And when you know what steps happen, it's easier to focus on the things that come quickly to you, come easy, get it done. And then where do you need help? Where are your gaps? Where do you go find the information before you just stare at the project?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yep, right on. So, is there any other specific practice that you might be able to share with our listeners, any business leaders that they might be able to take back to their teams if they have anybody who's stuck, other than breaking out the science of the simple? I love that. Are there any other specific strategies that you might share with our team leaders?
Yeah, actually, something I've just been putting together to share with others because it is such a challenge is when we get in our own way. We all have that stuff on our to-do list that no matter what, oh, the phone rang. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have to go do this. That we get distracted by and we don't want to do it. And we knew if we did it, we would probably make more money or or get more of what we want. So one of the things that I really like to work with teams on and in general with my clients is understanding why you feel that way. Like,
Oh,
what is that thing, that roadblock that gets in your way that keeps you from doing it every time you come to do it? And then when you do sit down to get this thing done, it takes forever because you're distracted and you're dragging your feet and you're hemming and you're hawing. So really helping people understand, like, one, where do those roadblocks live? Like, which are those activities? And then understanding why they're there. Where are these emotions and these feelings about them? And again, is there just a gap in knowledge? Like, do you just need to go learn something to get it done? But because you don't know it, you lack confidence and you're just afraid to give it a go. So that is something that I work with my clients quite a bit, which is why I lean on accountability so much. Because if I notice nothing's happening, so if you notice in your team that things aren't getting done or they're, last minute thrown together, that is a clue. That is a clue that there is a gap in information and in knowledge that you can lean into your teams and be like, what's happening? Like where do we need more information? Where do we need to reconfigure who's doing what with what? So really getting into the what's happening back here? Like whose voice are you believing and is it even true? Because none of us stop to think about like, why don't I want to? We just know we don't want to.
That's so
right?
true. And I think there's like a point where you become aware, like, I just really don't want to do this. And it's while you're doing something else that you also don't want to do just to avoid doing it. Like all of a sudden I really want to like clean up my bookshelf. Like, why do I want to clean up my bookshelf? Because I don't want to go into my CRM. Why don't I want to go into my CRM? But you have to kind of be doing that thing that you also don't want to do. That's for me. I just am like, I'm resistant to this. Why?
The other thing is I'm resistant to telling myself or anyone else telling me that I need to do something. So if I'm telling myself I have to, I need to, I I will find something else to do. However, if I focus on, okay, if I do that, I'm this much closer to this thing,
Ah,
I I will find a way to make it happen. So I have all these little reminders on my whiteboard over here when that happens. Like, what choices am I making? Is this supporting my growth? Is this supporting my vision? Is this supporting my plan? Because if it's not, then I got to call myself out, right?
how
Right on.
how do you
Right
call
on.
yourself out without activating your like inner obstinate voice? Asking for a friend.
Asking for a friend. Because for me
And
personally,
my son is the same. Like you cannot like literally I will be like, I need you to. He goes, don't tell me I'm gonna do it. I don't want to do it if you tell me. If you tell me I won't want to do it, Mom.
it's
I'm
true.
always like, but what if we're not thinking of the same thing? He's like, let me try it first. Okay.
I used to tell my mom, if you say need, it's like all of a sudden your voice just goes away. But if you say it would be great if, I would like it if you could, for me, for my inner dialogue, it's really about, okay, if I don't do this, I'm going to have a few moments of like, oh, that was fun, or and then beat myself up later. If
Mm,
I do it, like what could happen? I always try to go to what could happen if I get this done? Which lane do I want to live in
mm,
today? Because
mm.
sometimes I don't want to live in the if I got it done lane. And that's the thing. You want to be honest with yourself because if you keep saying that, you might want to rethink that activity. Like maybe there's something else I can do to get me those same results
Sure, yeah.
instead of this because I'm so resistant. I hate it so much.
Hmm.
Or you can decide to change. But back to your question, it's really about options. And that's exactly what I do. I provide options for myself as if I was a child. Do you want to go to the park or do you want to do this? Do you want dessert tonight or do you not want dessert tonight?
This is a good option.
So
I mean,
it would be
I like
like,
this a lot. I really like this a lot actually.
so it'd be like if I go to the park, I can have a joyful afternoon and have some sunshine. But if I get into my CRM, I will have that checked off and I may have, more gigs next month or whatever.
I'll have that
And I'll
checked
have,
off, which will eventually lead to me having more time to be able to go play on that park without having to worry about it.
all right. So you're
So
like
it,
kind of you're legitimizing both options.
oh, I have several conversations
All
with
right.
myself
All right.
throughout the day. I'm not any different than anybody else, which is why I do what I do because I've had to teach myself. I've had to learn my tricks. And so I've got a lot of tricks up my sleeve.
You're like, I got
Yes.
you. I've done
Yes.
this.
Hmm. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Rena, it has been awesome talking with you as we bring this episode in for a landing. Would you let our audience know how they can contact you and participate in the work you're doing?
Yes, you can go to tinywhitmightycoaching.com. If that's too long, just go to rinamora.com. Takes you to the same place.
Same
You can
place.
also you can also find me on Instagram or LinkedIn. And in my link tree, there is a link to a productivity bundle so you can get your hands on that project card and the exercise that I talked about to help you get out of your way.
Excellent.
Yes, love
Perfect.
it, love it. And of course, that'll all be in the show notes for the podcast and the video version as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rena.
Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Good, good, yes, and we're delighted to introduce you to Rena, dear listener, and also thanks for tuning in to the Kimberly Coach Show, where we endorse late night quesadillas with friends at 3 a.m. as a form of self care. We'll see you next
Yes.
time.
Cheers. Okay, so we just recorded our episode with Rena, and I think there were so many actionable practices in it.
Yeah, I was like, we just want one. And Rena's like, here's 12.
Because Rena's so good at this.
She really is.
The main one that Rena brought out was the SOS.
Yep.
The science of the simple, right?
Yep.
And I loved how she talked about taking those big things that are feeling overwhelming and breaking them down into tiny little tasks. One thing that we have started to do as we're working on giant tasks is we are breaking them down into tasks and putting them on index cards. And that is working really well for Ben's kinesthetic and ADHD brain. But then when we're done with the task, we rip the card, and that
feels so good.
It's so funny, but it's so motivating. And then
when I'm done with the project from Rina, when I'm using Rina's card, it's like, oh yeah, the whole thing. It's like, it's done, baby, it's done.
You should send like a little FaceTime video, a little Marco Polo
to Rina every time it happens.
Yeah, so I think that and I like that she's saying not just to keep it simple, but send out an SOS. Talk to someone and if you're stuck and you can't figure out what the little parts are and what order they should be in, find someone to talk it through with, if that's a coach or if it's your boss or if it's a colleague. But having someone to talk that through with, sometimes that outside perspective will be like, well, clearly it sounds like this is the thing that would have to, how would you do that before this? You can't. So that one is freaking, and you get some of that.
Yeah. And especially, as you and I work together, having that extra voice, having that extra set of eyes and ears on that, invaluable for sure. So y'all already know I love these Rina's project cards. So y'all should go over to her website, go get that productivity bundle,
get it,
and get your own copy.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
Yep. I also loved, she kind of threw in at the end an extra practice. And it was around interrogating why you're resistant to something.
Yeah.
And I love the point that she made that you often know that you don't want to do something, but you never ask yourself why you don't. And that's something, because we've worked with Rina for a while, we are now more in the habit of asking why we don't want to do something. And then I loved that she said, sometimes there's a real why, and you're not going to get past it. You don't want to do that. You need to find a different strategy. You're not going to do it. And there have been things where Rina has told us, stop trying to do that. It's not working for you.
Right.
There's other things you can do to get that same result, because you are resistant to this. And like the freedom for a coach to be like I'm like a teacher's pet kind of person. I'm like annoying as crap, but I want to get the assignment right. I want to do it. And Rina, there have been a couple times where Rina's been like, Kimberly, this doesn't work for you. Stop. Don't do it. And I'm like, but I want to pass this.
I'm a lot more punk rock, and I'm like, I'm gonna do it my way.
Yeah. Ben's motto in college was
D is for diploma.
D is for So some of the collective intelligence of our duo.
It is.
Yeah, but I do think kind of figuring out, like, do I really want to do this? And if I do, why do I not want to? Where's my resistance coming from? And being able to get underneath that and solve it. And sometimes you need a coach for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's all we got time for today, team.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap. All right. So we'll see you next time.
Cheers.